Ziggity zig! Talking his way back into Gold's game number 6. This is a game to myself and AnPonTan and AnPonTan up here in the top left of Frost. I'm down here in the bottom right. I'm not sure if there's a cross spawn only, but this was a live game that I did play and I did record it, and then due to my own stupidity, I actually just got rid of it. So luckily I saved every recording, so here it is. This is going to try to be my, oh, here we go. Here's my camera view. What am I doing? I'm wandering all over the place. I'm trying to figure out where to go. And I think I knew he was a Zerg, so this was my attempt at an FFE. Here we go. So where you want to put in it for an FFE is when you put your first pylon, maybe here, maybe possibly down the lower bit, but then another option is to have it up here. But since you know it's a Zerg, this is what we sort of talked about yesterday with the random, is if you put it here on the top, you can either wall off if you don't see it, you can FFE if it is a Zerg, but once you do find them. So I do search around, and I do end up kind of wandering over here. I think I go in my standard clockwise direction, but the one thing that we can see here is that I am currently losing the EPM battle. So I'm not sure if we'll look at what AnPonTan is doing or not, but perhaps we will. But at the moment, what we're sort of seeing here is just my attempts at this is going to be about a 13 Forge Fast Expand. So he's sending out there we go, so 2 Overlords going to the 2 directions, which is probably a pretty good idea. Now here I go, I'm going to pop down my Forge right about here, which is actually a pretty decently, so there's no, pretty decently spaced. There's no space there, there's no space there, but it's got a big gap down here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to keep zapping out some dudes. Do I have, wait, 24? Where's my other, did I put another pylon somewhere? Oh no, what? Oh, 13 of 24. Oh, man, I was looking at that as my supply, because I'm an idiot. So anyway, I do come in here, and I do find out that, okay, no, there's no expansion. There's one there, but there we go. And I actually watch the spawning pool go down, so you can pretty much expect to see, see, he didn't take the natural. This is the thing. I get comments, some really useful comments do come from Bombdegor, but every now and then I get things like, oh, well, no one would ever do this. You know, you never see, I can't even remember one of the responses, but just things that you would expect. Like right here I am saying, all right, here I am expecting play. Here I am expecting a natural expand. But in these leagues, you don't see it. So I only think that he's got one expansion, but in fact he's doing a double. So here I'm eventually coming up to, was that switch from space to space? Man, I'm still getting used to this. So I do get my cannon down, and I do get my Nexus, so it should be Nexus then cannon, I think was my problem here. But I did try the FFE, and it almost mostly worked. Now the thing I became most worried about was this kind of thing, just to wall off at the main. So meantime, over here, we are seeing that AnPonTan has fully set up essentially 3 bases. Now, we'll eventually see how the income tab is going, because once he sets that up, I am ahead on minerals, or on workers, and so the income level is a little bit ahead. I do have 1 single gas at the moment, no gas right now for AnPonTan, so we're just seeing mostly hatcheries, queens, maybe a couple of defensive zerglings, but not really all that much. These 2 zerglings eventually come down here and take me out just there at his gate. Now, there is a bit of a gap just here, which I'd like to squeeze in, and I think I eventually put my cybernetics core just there. Neither of us, I'm still getting, not of the gas, staying ahead of the supply blockage. In fact, if you take a look at the GG tracker link down below, then you will find out that I actually did pretty good at supply block. It was pretty low in this game, if I remember correctly, but AnPonTan now finally getting 2 gas guys. There's me getting my cybernetic core just about to be, and there's my first zealot. So the zealot is going to warp in and sit right here in this gap, which is handy because here comes just an initial push out by AnPonTan just to see what it is I'm up to. He is moving in his overlords in towards me now that he's sort of narrowed down where I'm at, because at the moment doesn't even know what's going on. So I could be doing just about anything. Here is my zealot sitting here waiting, and I think he's even on halted. So zealot plus cannon equals dead zergling. So he whips back those other 2, because if you take a look once again at the EPM tab, is quite favorably in AnPonTan's favor, quite favorably in his favor. Why do I still only have 1 gas? Oh, there we go. And I've only got 2 in gas right now, so I'm definitely not making enough money. But I'm floating a lot of minerals, and I just need to start getting down the remainder of my buildings. Why? There we go. So finally getting a few more gates. So I'm now on some sort of weird 4-gate, 2-base thing, but I'm putting a robo up here towards the center. which is probably handy. Still not getting any additional gas, and I'm still... there we go. Finally getting some dudes and gas just over there. Now, if you take a look over here in AnPonTan, he's got a pretty substantially saturated base up here. He's only one or two, two harvesters ahead of me, so actually not doing that much phenomenally better than me as far as income goes. So my 2 base is essentially about the same as his 3. And I still don't actually know about his 3rd base because I just didn't expect that. I mean, I should have gone out to look by now. It's 7 minutes in, and I'm just starting to work on a little bit of army and a little bit... Actually, if you look at the army supply, AnPonTan is just a bit ahead of me right now. But as this robotics facility comes in, I think we're actually looking at a robo... yeah, there's the Roach Warren, so the Robo Bay is a good idea up against that. I don't actually know this yet, but I do eventually, I think, yeah, my first sentry out is only at 87, and it is 100 for a hallucination, if I am not mistaken. So the other things that are going on over here is that he's still got 2 overlords just kind of watching me at the corners. I did manage to scare this one out of my base a little bit. Here come 2 more Zerglings, but essentially... doesn't even know that I've got a robo just yet, so I could be Stargatey. He's watching that happen, so he's watching Warpgate finish, if he's paying that close of attention. So really, since I'm keeping him well out of my base, I probably should have done quite a bit. Now this is when I go up here with my hallucinated Phoenix. Can't really keep an eye on that, but that's okay. So just having a look at my... is that another cannon? Oh, that's my Immortal, okay. Do I eventually move that Immortal? That's strange. So I do get out a couple of Immortals just now. So if you have a look at the army supply, I'm still a little bit behind, but that's only because I was really late on those initial gateways. But I do come in with the Phoenix, and I do have a quick peek. I see Roach Warren, not much else, and I decide, okay, what's up over here on the other side of the base? Nothing. Don't see anything there, and then I get really lucky here because I actually see that, oh wait, he's got a 3rd base, so I should probably do something about that. Now, if you look over here at the income tab, yes, now he's quite a little bit more ahead of me, but still only a couple of Zerglings just sitting right there. And actually, yeah. So now come the Roaches. The Roaches are on their way out. But had I gone air or any other format like that, here comes Robotics Bay. 2 more gates on the way. So I do sort of as I expand out. But at this point, now seeing a 3rd base, I probably should have done something about this. He's now just patrolling these 2 back and forth, which is also a good play, so he's just detecting and trying to make sure, yeah, so he checked for a 3rd base on my behalf, on my end of things, and then just kind of decided to walk up with some Roaches. Now here comes the cool bit. I'm going to show some army supply there. It is now 62-32 his favor, but, oh, okay, that wasn't it, that wasn't the push. Here comes the push, here comes the 3-base Roach push, but I think there's also... if I remember correctly, there was eventually a... no, there's no Hydralisk Den at the moment, but, So here they come, and they're just sort of sitting outside my base. I can't remember... no, I can't quite see them at the moment, and I don't send another hallucinated Phoenix, but I do take out this Overlord, where this is what he sees there. I come up... I hit up a Guardian Shield on top of my Immortal, so that does quite a bit. The Zealots do their work, tank a little bit of damage there, but up against this massive units, I am now outnumbered by quite, no, not quite a bit, but a bit. So he is at +1 Carapace, oddly enough, but up against this particular army, just did not quite cut it. So here come the additional, and now we're just into Zerglings for whatever reason, so what I'd really like to have out right now is to do a bit more about, there we go, so first Colossus. Now is the time to probably do something, except I'm still being outnumbered, mostly because I think this inventory, or this, not inventory, but there we go. I'm actually, well, numbering him in harvesters as well, so what is he doing that I'm not? Here comes some, yeah, okay, so the Muta Harass was coming in after that, because I don't even know that he's got a Spire at the moment. Where is that Spire? Is that it here? No, it was up here somewhere. So here's this, and I'm just sort of scaring him back to his base. Or are these just missile attacks? I think those are just missile attacks. So he's getting things like, 2-2. So he's got 1-1 at the moment. I only have... no, I just have +1, so I'm not really working too hard on that at the moment. I decided to take that Overlord out. Do get the Twilight Council, which is working on... no, I'm just working on sort of +1 other things. Here comes my Mothership Core. I was feeling pretty good at this point. Once again, we're down here that we're showing what my EPM is, and I'm a bit behind. However, I was feeling alright about this. Now, at 13 minutes starting to get your third base up and running. I think this is a yeah, he was still outnumbering me here, but having I should have waited for that second Colossus. Now I've got my Mothership Core. No, I'm all out of sentries, which probably would have helped out in this next battle here, because this is still predominantly Roachling, and I have a pretty small little grasp right there. But I do catch a few units just coming off. Should have backed out there, regrouped, started over again, get my Zealots up to the front. The Zealots up at the front probably would have done quite a good job here, but I just did not. And then, oh, picking off that Queen, come on! I'm just not doing too well as far as unit management goes. There's a sickly Overlord just sitting out over there, but if you look at, yeah, I'm definitely outnumbered at the moment. We're at 164 supply over 135. I believe this guy was either in gold or just top silver, I think, just based on the EPM alone. I've got 2 there. And I did not get saturating this base, so I did not quickly sneak back and do any more. I do have another Colossus on the way, but that's it. I only have the 2, and it's predominantly Stalker focused right now, which I think Charge Lots would have done really well at this point. And there are the Hydralisks, and I decide to move in and get a time warp going there, but he also kind of comes around and picks me off from the edges, and then this is when things start to go really poorly for me, where I am floating far too many minerals. I've got, yeah, too much going on and not enough of the good stuff. Blink is just about to finish. +2 is just about to finish. I'm about to lose another Colossus just wandering out here in the middle of nowhere. He's going to die pretty soon. I don't think I even noticed that he was there. How long does he sit there? Are you serious? I'm running my army away, and I've got a Colossus sitting out there in the middle of the field. Oh, my army management. Oh, the army management is just not good. So they pick off this. I thought that was, yeah, I thought that was another pylon. So here he comes here, and these Hydralisks, look at that, he even gets a couple kills. 3 kills? No, just 2. Fair enough. So he moves out. The army supply is far outmassing me. I am still out incoming, so on 2, almost 3 base, I really should be doing quite a better job here, but at this point, I've got too much, and I haven't made enough. I'm almost 2-1, but I think AnPonTan is now 2-2. Roach Hydra. So up against that, the only thing I've got left is had I been able to move into maybe Stargate right about now, just have Stargates or at least more gates down here. I think I put more gates down at this end. So he does move down, even though he made quite a number of mistakes, or just kind of inefficiencies in his play, but still had me here. There's that Guardian Shield. Probably could have cut this up with a few force fields. Too little, too late. Not all that well done. Need more Zealots. Charge is about to finish. I've got another Colossus on the way out. This one's about to drop because I think they pick it off. Yep, there it goes, but luckily this one is right here in behind. The army supply is still way ahead of me. They're just trickling in, so he's got quite a powerful amount, but look at what he's doing in behind this. Base there, base there. This is when things just start to sway. So I do hold fairly often, but meantime he's making 14 roaches at a time, even with 2-2 charge lots coming in. Or no, 2-1 charge lots coming in. Up against 2-2 roaches. Need to be working on a few more things there. I'm done out with the Twilight Council. I need some more Colossus. The next thing I need is, since I've got that council, I should have made a Twilight Archives. No, wait, Templar Archives by now. Twilight Archives, what am I talking about? And then the Templar Archives could have helped me out. Let's see, look again down here. I am just making quite a lot of money, but when you take it down to just the number of bases that we're on, it's not enough. I've got too many harvesters for just my 2 bases because I just kept making more despite the fact that I didn't need to make more. So if you come over here, we got 22 of 24, and I'm way oversaturated right there. So that's just too many bits and units. My army supply, I'm still come back up over to 2, and now I'm trying to get +3 in another Colossus. So what is going on here? Okay, there we go. So now he's making 13 more Hydralisks, and I still have too much money. Not doing enough. Probably could have moved on to a second robotics bay right there. And if he's sticking to this Roach Hydra thing, then Ah, there we go. So I did get an Archon and a Templar Archives. There it is. So I do try to get out a couple of these, and I just try to move up here into just a bit more damage. So a +3 Colossus, and yeah, keeping up with the Colossus count. I should have made another robotics bay or facility. Bleh. Sorry. But here we go. We're still pretty much even out. Now I'm stuck at 150. There we go. So the problem there is that I then became supply blocked, and I wasn't making enough pylons. I don't think I got stuck here getting copped out on a number of Colossus that I could make, and then I just decided to spam out, try to see what I could do. Didn't have enough Archons at this point. Didn't have enough Colossus. Colossus Archon, I needed more. Yeah, and I needed to organize my units a bit more in the front. The army supply, I'm a bit lower here. Don't think. Yeah, they're still at 2-2. They just decided to stop at 2-2, so I guess maybe they didn't have the tech to go up one higher than that. Getting an observer for whatever reason. These Archons are getting caught out of position because I'm just sort of moving everybody and not doing a very good job with my units. Yeah, so losing out quite a bit again there. I just kept losing all my engagements because I didn't have my army organized properly. These two Colossus get caught out once again because I think I was still A-moving, so I lost one just for no reason. Meantime, a couple more Templar, and here is one more Colossus coming. Too little, too late. I just did a poor job, so I should have had this, realistically. I had a very good chance at taking this game, but AnPonTan was very clever with map control. I did have this pylon here. I started moving out and putting a couple pylons in some different places, but there's UCMOP coming in there with highly accurate. Okay, for real. And very appropriate. Let's be friends. This is actually how we talk in real life. So here's this last engagement, and once again, just the power's about halfway, but oh, what am I doing back here with all these units? And they are just so I didn't quite have the support aligned, and then I worried about this is that I was being kind of frontline concaved, and then I moved back, and look at that. So yeah, and then I get caught out of position again. I got some pretty bad luck being caught out of position was the main problem there. So then there's the remainder, and now there we are. If you see up in the top left, you see 2 Ultralisks coming down. So once he was on this many once he was on this many bases and could move into the Ultralisks, I almost said Ultralords, that doesn't sound right at all. Reviewing bad play. So this is me, and I'm man, I couldn't quite get back into the swing of things. I should have moved back. I did take this 4th base right over here, but look at the gas that he's floating over here and AnPonTan. I mean, I was keeping everything kind of low, but the problem with keeping things pretty low was that I wasn't really doing a very good job of organizing things, so I should have been doing better on base management. Here's this base down here that I also find, and this is when I get attacked by my first Ultralisk. And I think, oh dear, that's not good, as Bomb Degor now says. And then I get pincered from the back, and I think this is about when I realize, yeah, that's it. When he's on this many bases, I mean, it's possible that I still, but I felt a bit outplayed at this point. So I'm at 3-1, but he's coming at me with a 2-0 Ultralisk. There we go. So I give up the GG right there because I just was not playing my units well. So unit management towards late games where I fall, especially up against Zerg, because they managed to get so many units in so fast. Anyway, leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ziggityzig. Stay tuned.